Okay, it's official. The rise in single family home prices that we saw this spring has almost completely retraced itself. Let's take a look at the single family home market update for November. I'm Jack Gately from Jack Gately Real Estate and the Online Real Estate Academy. Let's get into it. Okay, you can see it as clear as day on this chart of average sales price right here, starting sometime in February of March of this year. Prices went up almost to $800,000 for your average single family home. And then you can see it just go right back down right there as interest rates started to rise. Now, we actually have not seen the full impact of interest rate hikes in this market. Plus, even though they've raised interest rates 75 basis points, I believe 4 times in a row now, which I think is a record, there is highly likely to be more interest rates in the future going forward. Again, in December, as soon as December, we'll probably see another 50 basis points, maybe 75, one or the other. And those are, again, eating into the buying power, and that is affecting price. And the average single family home price these are October numbers reporting in November, 672,000. Now, that's a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but it is way off the peak of 792, which I think the peak that we achieved in the summertime. And highly likely that's going to continue to go down as these interest rate hikes, as I just said, continue to bite into buying power. Now look at this chart. It's almost the same. It's even more aggressive than the chart we just looked at. This is the ratio between original price and final sales price. So once again, if you're just watching this video for the first time, if you list it for 100,000, you're gonna sell it now for 100,000. There isn't any, I'm gonna get 105, 106% of list price anymore. That is wicked over. And you can see the move go up, right? It peaks at about 107%, which is an amazingly strong seller's market, and almost completely straight down now to 100%, which is somewhat of an equilibrium between buyer and seller. So if the house is on the market for 525, that's probably what you'll need to offer at. You're not going to have to go to 563 or something like that. If it's on for 525, you'll probably get it if you offer list price. According to these numbers that we're looking at here, we are now at somewhat of a parity between buyers and sellers. It's a little bit of a stalemate. No side really has much advantage. It's almost equilibrium. So wow, what a big difference between now and say if you were buying a house in the springtime. And again, the buyers just cannot compete given how much more burden the monthly payment is because of higher interest rates. All right, so this chart is days to offer. In other words, how long does it take before you put your house in the market and you get an offer that you accept? And you can see this is kind of bottomed out in June, and then it started to go back up. So this chart's kind of like an inversion of the other two charts we just looked at, but it shows the same thing. It's now taking longer. Now over 3 weeks to sell your single family home. That's 23. Maybe I'll move. There we go. That's 20. There you go. That's 23 days to offer. Last month, I think it was 21. The trend is now very clear. It's taking a little bit longer to sell your house. So what's that mean for inventory? And I think that this is where things get very interesting. We're now first of the month. And that's how I measure it. First of the month. How many single family homes are on the market on November 1st? And that number was 5,258 statewide. So usually around this time, certainly by Thanksgiving, you start to see people take their houses off the market, and there's a little bit of a sleepy time in the market until the beautiful spring weather comes around again, because there's no better time to sell your house than in April, right? But that's not always true, but April is typically, the green and everything. Right. People are out. Although you can sell it in a February, just as a quick aside, because if you're selling in February, the only people that are looking in February are really serious. So that's another story altogether. But we would usually see this number start to decline, certainly in November and December and January. And I'm not sure we're going to have as big a slide as we would typically have because, again, people are taking longer to sell their homes. We're going to see how this plays out. This is very interesting. I've said, you've heard me say before, that I would rather see this number go to like 6,000 or more in order to have a consistently strong or parity market between buyer and seller. But we'll see what happens. This is something to keep an eye on. Closings, however, have slowed down. Let's take a look at that. Consistent with the reports that we saw earlier in today's video, we saw a run up in closings to peak around June, and since then they've been slightly on the way down, about 3,600 closings last month, reporting now in November. So, as buyers struggle, there are fewer closings. So we're going to keep an eye on this one too. This is a very interesting one. It is a lagging indicator, however, because closings do not reflect the current market, because closings really represent what went under agreement 6 weeks ago, approximately. So it is a lagging indicator. We don't put as much stock in this one. Lastly, let's go back to talk about price. So because I subscribe to a lot of real estate agent emails, and I have a lot of real estate agent friends on Facebook, I have been noticing, especially in the last like 2 weeks, a lot of emails and a lot of Facebook posts of price adjustments. That's what they're calling. They're calling them price cuts. They have all these euphemistic words for it, but basically they're cutting the price. And yeah, especially in the last 2 weeks, I have a lot of emails and a lot of Facebook posts on this. So sellers who thought they were going to get that April or May or June number, they're now realizing, oh, yeah, we're not, sorry, honey, we're not going to be able to sell the house for what we thought we were. It's kind of back to reality. All right. Hey, I'm Jack Gately from Jack Gately Real Estate and the Online Real Estate Academy. I'll see you next month. Have a great day. Bye-bye.